If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or a computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome back to another episode of Bombshell 1111 Girl Talk Series Podcast. Bombshell 1111 is a platform created to teach ways to nourish the mind, body, and soul. This platform allows this podcast to create weekly content on podcasts with special guests each week that will stimulate your spiritual, mental, and physical growth. The podcasts are played on social media platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, Anchor radio station, Apple Podcasts, and more. This station has been created to allow us to interact with each other to share knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and light. So without further ado, please help me welcome your host and founder of Bombshell 1111 Girl Talk Series, Keya.
The episode of Bombshell 1111 podcast. My name is Keya and I'm your host. So now you guys, we have a double guest, and both of these young ladies are from my hometown, Kosciusko, Mississippi. My first guest goes by the name of Farrah Wilder. She's a native of Kosciusko, Mississippi, and also a member of the National Council of Negro Women. She is also a member of the Advocacy Foundation Incorporation, which focuses on homelessness. In addition to Farrah joining us tonight, I'm sorry, you guys, we also have Mrs. Benita Anderson Williams. She's also from Kosciusko, Mississippi, and a member and CEO of Advocacy Foundation Incorporation, which focuses on homelessness. And Ms. Benita Anderson Williams is also the managing partner of the Advocacy Group and Advocacy Disabilities and Associates. So you guys, without further ado, let's welcome both of these ladies to the show. Welcome, Benita and Farrah. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I am good. I am great. I'm so happy you guys decided to come on and be a part of the podcast, especially with the mission and the goals that you guys are striving towards with working with the homelessness. I think that's a great thing to do. So again, thank you guys for coming on and being a part.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So I did a short introduction in letting the listeners know who you guys were, but I always like the guests to come on and do their own small introduction, just so it's more personable and you guys can get more comfortable with our conversation throughout the podcast. So whichever lady wants to go first, Benita or Farrah, can you just let the audience know what's the purpose of you being here tonight in reference to what you're going to be talking about with your new agency? So Benita, if you want to start off, and Farrah, you can piggyback off of her.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Benita Anderson Williams, and myself along with Farrah Wilder, we have put together the Advocacy Foundation Incorporation, and our foundation focus is regarding the homeless community, which is very important in these trying times that the world is having. However, I don't want us to just focus on the pandemic and say that issues are greater now. They're the same. I think we, as the world, has forgotten about the people that are sleeping on the street. And yes, some people may say, okay, those people are on the street because they chose to be on the street. However, not every aspect of that is actually true. Some people are in situations where they've lost their jobs, they had nowhere else to go, they start sleeping on the street, They may be suffering from mental illness. There's various reasons why they can no longer have housing or have a place or a family to call home. And so our foundation is focusing on, let's try to come up with some solutions to try to help out, whether it's giving them a bag of a survival kit or a sleeping bag, or coming up with a program to help so many people at one time. This is something that we have to do as a community, as a state, as one person handing out a hand to another person, whether it's Mississippi, Tennessee, Illinois. A lot of us are in positions to do something to help, and I just want us to all try to come together and try to do something to help the homeless community.
Farrah, do you have anything to piggyback off of that?
I think she did a good job explaining it. Like she said, we just want to bring awareness to it. It's something that we need to look at and consider and try to help, And I think that with our mission, trying to help the homeless, we're hoping that by helping them, that we could possibly not end homelessness. It would be great if we could, but just by showing them that somebody do care and trying to help them, then maybe we could get to the issues of how and why it happened, and maybe we can get it head on before it starts to kind of just decrease the numbers and get it to where it needs to be, to where we don't have any homeless. So that would be awesome if we could do that, but that's our ultimate goal, and I think it'd be great if we could get to that.
Can you ladies tell me about exactly what areas are you guys going to be serving? Is it necessarily just the Mississippi areas? Or is it going to be something that you guys are doing worldwide, where you're going to be able to mail survivor kits? What does this process or structure looks like?
Farrah, do you want to, or?
Our focus for this event that we're having, we're going to be focused on Tennessee, Mississippi, a couple of counties in Mississippi, and I think Tennessee is the only other state. Am I right, Benita, or is there another state?
That's right. At this time, that is definitely going to be our focus. We're having this event in Mississippi, and also, before we go any further, we would like to say thank you to all of the people who have decided to help us with this event, and we appreciate their time. We're going to have a lineup of various musicians, and those musicians have dedicated and volunteered their time to come out for the cause, to do selective songs, to get the crowd of people to come out to do these donations. We have Terry Wright. He was actually the first person that I reached out to that actually took out the time to listen to myself and Farrah of what we were trying to do. And he said, you know what, I'll do it. I understand there's no money involved, but I'll do it. And then everyone else sort of just came behind him and just decided to join. So we have various people that are going to be there. We're going to have Bobby Rush. We're going to have Terry Wright. We're going to have Karen Wolf. We're going to have Kawando. He is a younger person that is actually going to be involved. We're also going to have two DJs, DJ Hitter, and DJ Sandifer. They have volunteered their time. We're also going to have Big Yayo. We're going to have Just Allen. There is a surprise guest that Terry Wright is bringing. And so these people have really come together to make this work so that the community can come out. On that day, the event is going to be held at 481 Douglas Road at the Thurman Park in Goodman, Mississippi, where there's going to be plenty of room for social distancing. And they're going to come out and give the event, do a show where people can come in, and the only thing that you have to do is bring $20 worth of supplies, because we're going to be making survival kits that day. Our goal is to make enough survival kits where we can divide them between the state of, well, I won't say per se state, but between Memphis, Tennessee, and Jackson, Mississippi, and then some of the surrounding counties.
I think you got disconnected there for a minute, Benita. You're trying to make what is the estimated amount of number survival kits?
We're trying to our goal is 900 bags of survival kits, which will be items that people are donating, whether it's hygiene or clothes. And the goal is to buy those bags between Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, the surrounding counties of Holmes County and Attala County. So that is our starting point for this event.
Now, in particular for this event, what does that process entail? Does that look like, are you guys going to have volunteers that are going to go out and distribute these survival kits? Is there going to be a sign up for it? How does that work?
Where our ultimate, what we're thinking is we're going to be reaching out to some of the local fire departments to see if they would accept some of the bags that we're going to give. We are making plans to pick another date to go to, say, for instance, to Jackson, Mississippi, apply for the required permit that we may have to have in Jackson, Mississippi to give out these bags in the area where there are more people who are actually on the streets and are homeless. I know for Memphis, Tennessee, we will be giving the supply kits out at a different date because we have to apply for the permit there and give these bags out because just like Farrah, I'm pretty sure she is aware of the area for Jackson, Mississippi because she's in Mississippi. For me in Tennessee, I know the area to go to give out these bags because people who are homeless are usually within the same vicinity. Also, there will be bags that are going to be given to some of the mental health facilities. I'm going to go by and give those bags out just in case someone comes in and they need clothing or just a survival kit. And that survival kit could have anything from toothpaste to maybe toothbrushes, soap, deodorant, personal hygiene things for a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, if an individual wants to donate, but maybe not necessarily attend the event, how would they be able to do so?
Well, they can reach out to us via email. That would be the best way possible, or to send us a text message. My direct phone number, of course, is 901-907-4251, or you could email me at b.andersonwilliams@yahoo.com. And we, of course, we're pretty, Farrah and I have talked about this. We are not accepting money, and I know that's the easiest thing. We would like to say that if you're not able to attend the event and you want to donate, you can actually go online, because I know everyone is doing shopping online. You could go to Dollar Tree or Walmart, any online store, and order these supplies and just have us, pick them up from the store, or they could be shipped. We can provide all that information at the end of this segment, where they can actually, have it shipped to, if they just want to use a mailing address. But we were trying to stay away from the money portion because, again, sometimes when you're trying to do good, mm-hmm. some people can construe what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. So our foundation is built on, we don't want anyone to say that we have mishandled funds. Our ultimate goal is to help people. So people will be more likely to donate to our foundation by just purchasing the things themselves. And maybe that would make them feel more comfortable instead of giving us, monetary funds.
Yeah, I definitely understand. In reference to the agency as a whole, is this going to be the only event that you guys sponsor or facilitate, coordinate, or will there be more events in the future to come?
Yes, we do plan on doing some more events. Right after this event, Benita and I had discussed that because this is our first event and the support and sponsors has been so overwhelming that we decided we need to do something, to show our appreciation. So we're thinking about doing a banquet after this event to recognize and to just show our appreciation to the sponsors that we have to helping us with this event. Mm-hmm. And so we'll go from that and start planning on our next event, maybe hit some other states just to kind of, get our name out there and get the homeless awareness, get it out there, that say, hey, we have people in our country that are homeless, let's do something about it. Let's help them, or let's try to decrease the number, or at least. But yes, we're definitely planning on doing some more events in the future.
And Keya, if I could say something else, I need people to understand one thing, because I hear this all the time. They could go to a shelter. Every state is different. Every shelter is different. Some places, they're nonprofit. Some places are under the direction of the state. I have nothing negative to state about a shelter at all, because our goal is to just be part of the solution. We're not trying to be the best. We're just trying to be part of the solution. But It is very difficult for a homeless person to be able to come up with funds to get into a shelter. The funding that some of the shelters may or may not be receiving, I'm not really for sure of what is actually happening. I am doing research in regards to this, but some shelters are not free. Some places, after you've been there for 2 or 3 days, you have to come up with funds to stay there. Mm-hmm. So I want people to remember that person that you passed on the street and you feel like, I'm not giving my money to them. They're probably on drugs or they're drunk. Think about what you're doing. If you don't want to give them money, maybe take out the time to call the nearby shelter to see how much it would cost for that person to go there. If you feel more comfortable giving your money directly to the shelter versus to that person who you think may or may not be on drugs or alcohol. I think that we have to also look at the fact that sometimes people are going through something so deep and so bad that they just need some form of help. We spend $20 on lunch, the majority of the world does. And it's not to say that you shouldn't treat yourself. You should never feel guilty about anything that you have for yourself when you have worked hard for it. But I would say, don't be a person who just never want to help anyone. Like, just do something. Even if you don't want to give them money, buy them a sandwich. A lot of people that I've seen on a daily basis, they'll take $1 sandwich from McDonald's. Just do something.
I totally agree. Because just here, where I am in Illinois, homelessness is very common, and you don't know the circumstance, and it's not that easy. And I don't even know if there is a shelter in our hometown, Mississippi, Kosciuszko. Do we have a homeless shelter?
I don't know. We don't here because our numbers for our homeless here, because I checked on that because I wanted to know where I could take the bags to once we do the benefit for Otala County. And that was one of the things they told me. We don't have that many. We have what we call drifters. They'll come in, be here for maybe a couple weeks or so, and then they move out. But the ones that are homeless that are here, that constant, they're from here. They just don't have anywhere to go. And like Benita said, homelessness, you can accumulate it any kind of way. And like here, I'm going to take the bag to the local fire station. I've already talked to them because homelessness can also start with people losing their homes in fires. So that's one of the ways we can get these bags out. And I was telling the gentleman at the fire station, someone's house burned down, their family, kids, you have these bags to give to them because at that moment they have nothing. And this will be some immediate necessities that they could have.
Right.
Because it could be in the middle of the night, early in the morning, but for the next couple of weeks, these people or months, they have nowhere to go. So that's how we'll be helping ours here, since our homelessness numbers are so low. But it would be nice to have a shelter here because it could be a family that's been relocated from one state, in a domestic, because we do have what we call I can't even think of the name of it. They're like ministries, and they're shelters for families where women or men been in battered relationships and trying to get away from the other. We have a facility here that is anonymous. No one knows where it is, where these families can go and be without being located. And they bring them here from other cities, states, or wherever. We do have.
Okay. So let me ask you guys another question before we get close to ending tonight's segment. If an individual wants to be involved within your organization, come on board, is that a possibility? And if so, what does that process look like?
Yes, we are in the process of looking for some more help, to help, because the more the merrier, so that we can get committees and things, set up as far as this. We do have an email address for our foundation, and it's fwilder@advocacyfoundationinc.org. They can email us, like Benita said, she gave her number, and I also give my phone number. I guess we can put that with the information at the end, where they can contact us. And then we also have a P.O. Box 1132, Cosisco, Mississippi 39090, where they can contact us, email us, call us, send us a letter, just let us know what, let me just say, we're just not looking for someone. We want someone that is as passionate about this as we are. Mm-hmm. So to join, we would like to know, what would you like to do? What could you contribute to this? How, in what way could you help us help our communities with our homelessness?
Right. And Keya, I also would like to add, I think another aspect, because on the day of this event, we are going to have some guest speakers. There's going to be a lot of information given out that day. Not only do we have to concentrate on people who are homeless, we also are going to start working on something to help people from becoming homeless. What the world does not understand, and this is just from the legal aspect of things, Social Security is one of the things that we as the world need to really know and understand. Mm-hmm. There are people in our hometown right now working hard every day, self-employed. They have not paid into the Social Security system. Mm-hmm. They can become homeless one day if they don't start paying into Social Security, because the only thing that you're going to be able to ever receive is SSI. Well, at least about 40% of those people are married. If you are married, you're not going to receive SSI, because that is a welfare-based program. So not only are we going to be focusing on that, we're going to start looking at different things to help people to understand you have to have a plan for retirement, because if you do not have a plan for retirement, you're going to end up homeless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's very important. And, I'm glad you touched on that, Benita, and maybe that's something that you can come back on the podcast at a later date to discuss, because I think that needs to be heard and people need to understand that, because nowadays so many people are starting their own small businesses and not understanding that one day you're going to get old. You have to think about that. And I don't think a lot of people, they tend to think of the now and, not future wise. So I think that's a very important point you touched on. And I totally agree. You guys, we're coming to a close at the end of the podcast. And before we end out, I just wanted to make sure we allow time for the listeners to be able to get the information again in regards to how to contact you guys if they would like to join the organization, the agency, to help give back to the homeless. And then also to give your individual platform information and contact information just in case someone wants to send survival kits but can't attend the event that you guys have coming up, and also give the location, day and time of your event. I know that's a lot of information, but you guys, y'all got it. Y'all know. So Farrah, Benita, whoever wants to go first, you can go ahead.
Okay, the event is going to be June the 5th, 2021. Again, it's going to be at 481 Douglas Road, Goodman, Mississippi. The time is 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Our foundation email address is fwilder@advocacyfoundationinc.org. I guess I need to spell that out. It's FWILDACIFOUNDATIONINC.org. And my phone number is 601-668-3238. And our P.O. Box information is P.O. Box 1132, Kosciuszko, Mississippi 39090.
And Farrah, could you please spell out Kosciuszko for the people that don't know how to spell our hometown?
Yes.
It's Kosciuszko.
Okay, thank you so much. Benita, can you give your information?
Yes, Benita Anderson Williams. Address is the same as Farrah mentioned, the P.O. Box. My contact number, 901-907-4251. The same email address is fine. I think we pretty much have given all the information.
That's it. Okay. Well,
Yes.
I would like to thank you ladies so much for coming on and being a part of the podcast. I know that the word is definitely going to be spreaded across different states and hopefully nations, and you guys will get the amount of survival kits that you guys are pushing for, and you'll be able to reach your goal or maybe even over and beyond. And again, thank you guys for coming on and being a part of the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so you guys, before we head out, always remember, you are born within your own shell. Peace, love, and light. Good night, you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure you subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted, rate, review, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're leaving with some valuable information that can help you on your personal journey. Also, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Bombshell 1111 or at Bombshell 1111 TV. You can also check out our mental health page, Your Health is Your Wealth, on Facebook, which is a page created to inform and support individuals with mental health and other health conditions. And with that being said, always remember, you guys, you are a bomb within your own shell. And until next time, peace, love, and light.